Hello and welcome to the Wolfchase Toyota Insider, the Memphis Tiger Network. I'm Jeff Brightwell alongside Richard Mulrooney. And Coach, first time we've been able to catch up with you since you got back from St. Louis, back in the NCAA tournament. So what was the experience like? Of course, you want to win the match, but first postseason appearance in 18 seasons, and this group has accomplished something only two other teams in program history have been able to do.
It was a joy. It was. It's been a long time coming, and as I told the guys, yes, this is the group that got it done. But previous years, for the last 5-10 years, it's been a process, and Coach Grant left a foundation for me to build upon, and then I think I finally put that next foundation up of finally reaching the NCAA tournament. And just the guys' face, the enjoyment, the excitement. And again, it's a soccer game, but it's a soccer game that we haven't been able to be a part of in that tournament for a long time. So really happy for the guys. They earned it. Obviously, it was an at-large bid. We didn't win our conference tournament. We battled tooth and nail to do that, fell short. But the guys did enough of work during the season to make sure that our RPI was good enough. And lo and behold, we got rewarded for it. And it was a great feeling and just an excitement in general just of finally being a part of that tournament.
I know the sting of the loss, probably 24 hours after that, you go to overtime. It was a great match. I was able to watch it. Have you had a chance to talk to any of the guys? I know you guys broke pretty quick for Thanksgiving holiday, not long after, but have you had a chance, or have any of the guys reached out, kind of the thoughts about the season and the experience since then?
I have, obviously, real quickly, and like every other year, we have to have our end of the year meetings. And this year, obviously, it got sort of cut short from Thanksgiving, and we have a couple more today. But in saying that, yeah, got to sit down with the guys and just be like, guys, or individually, what are your thoughts at the end of the year? And everybody just has a smile on their face of, that was fun, we want to do it again. So again, we're not settling that we just made the tournament and lost. We obviously thought we had an opportunity in that game and want to get further, but I think the guys got a taste of how good we can become, and we have a good group returning. My seniors did a great job, but the program is just going to continue to get stronger and stronger, and that's our goal. But looking back at it, the guys have their little medallion to say that they made the NCAA tournament, but a lot of them are wanting more, and that's what we want in this program.
When you look at this year in this group of players and what you did over the last, I think it was about 3 or 4 years, because we talked about this on your last show, you made a decision about 3 or 4 years ago. You were going to kind of flush the roster out a little bit. You felt the program wasn't going in the direction you wanted it to go, and that's not saying you had bad people on the roster or anything. It just wasn't the right fit. You flushed it out and rebuilt it. You got the support of the administration. A lot of times when you do that, people want quick solutions, and they gave you the time to build this thing back up.
Absolutely. And the main thing is the support's always been here. The athletic department has always had my back during this, which is a nice feeling. This is my job, but it's my livelihood, my passion. So to do that, you do want to make sure you have that support. But yeah, I think you're starting to see the fruition of that the locker room's great. The guys really enjoy each other. They were having meals together. Everybody is, on the bus rides. There's singing, there's messing around, there's goofing around. It's not just quietness or, there's no elephant in the room of this is going on or that's going on. That's a big piece. And obviously, there was quality this year, on all parts of the field. And there was guys on the bench that for other programs would be starting, but for ours, their role was a little bit different. Or, as we saw in the last game, where there's an ejection or there's a player that's suspended, we had an injury. Guys have to step up, and all through the year, if you look at our roster, there were some guys that started the 16, 17, 18 games, but there were some guys that did 10 or 12, and there's quite a few of those because it was the next man up mentality, and the guys accepted that, knowing that in a soccer season, it's not just a starting 11 and then it's everybody else. It was a starting 30, and a lot of guys got that opportunity this year and relished that opportunity and made the most of it.
How fun is it going to be, before we get into spring and the expectations for next year, but how fun is it going to be, you think, when you go out 2023 opening night at the Murphy Athletic Complex, and now you guys look around the field as you have everything set up, and there's going to be your placard surrounding the field for this team?
Just a sense of accomplishment. Like I said, we've got a couple out there, and obviously Brooks's team has quite a few, and they've earned it, and they're going to get more this year, and they did a great job, so congrats to them on this year. But we're a team that wants to have that success too, and we finally got to that point. So to have that out there, it's a sense of accomplishment, but it's a reminder that it takes hard work. It takes a lot to get to that point, and it's just going to be that much tougher to do it next year because we have an X on our back now. There was 5 teams that made it from our conference. We were one of those, and we're not going to sneak up on anybody more of, we're going into Memphis for an easy win or a tough game, but we'll pull it out. We're a team to be reckoned with, but we're not going to sneak up on anybody anymore. And to get more of those banners, we're going to have to make sure that we, again, fight tooth and nail and obviously bring it to the next level to make sure that we have more of those banners to add on our practice field and the top field.
That is going to be something different when people put you on their schedule next year as a non-conference or even a conference game. They're going to go, well, it's an NCAA team we're playing. It's going to be a big challenge. Let's talk a little bit about it. You had 5 seniors, 4 will be, looks like be moving on. You'll have 1 that gets to come back. You never know what's going to happen in a transfer portal, even with a really good locker room or situation. Just people have different situations. But I would imagine with so much of the potential bulk of this team coming back, there's a lot of X factors in that, a lot of X factors in the league will look a little bit different next year. Bulk of those teams this year, because they came on in early from men's soccer, will look pretty familiar. But I would imagine the expectations elevate from let's compete, get an at-large, to maybe going into the upper tier and challenging for a league championship.
That's it. I mean, we got the NCAA tournament this year, and again, that's not saying that that's second fiddle or whatever, but I do believe that we can do a better job in our conference. We made the conference semifinals 2 years in a row now. Had a disappointing loss 2 years ago to UCF. This year, obviously, was a tight game in the semifinals versus FIU. But that's still a conference that, yeah, we want to be able to win, or at least make the finals with and show a little bit better. So there's still a lot of boxes that we want to check, including in our conference. But in saying that, I think, as you mentioned, we learn from not our mistakes, but we just learn as time goes on with the transfer portal. We actually have 5 or 6 guys coming in this spring, and it's going to be a competitive spring. In past springs, it's like we've had 14 or 15 guys, by the end of it, maybe have to cancel a game just because we don't have enough. We're going to have the guys challenge this spring because we want to make sure, yes, we enjoyed this last fall, but we're not going to settle down. We're not going to just enjoy the spring and coast in the fall because we know it's going to be tough. We have 30-plus guys coming in this spring, and it's going to be challenging, and we're going to push the guys because we do. We want to get further in the NCAA tournament, and we want to make sure we, get to the finals of the NCAA or our conference tournament or win the regular season. Those are things that we haven't done before, and we want to do, and I think we're getting to that level that we should compete for that every single year.
Of course, don't have time to go through a bunch of individual players. The one guy I wanted to point out, because I think he was a difference maker when you brought him in last year. And you're going to have Connell Welch, it looks like, for a couple of more years, at least by being a sophomore and just being able to anchor things in net. Made some huge saves down the stretch for you this year.
Absolutely. I mean, we're seeing it in the World Cup right now. When you have a goalkeeper that stands on his head and makes those saves, you have a chance to win every game. And that's not to say our defense, midfield, and forwards didn't do the job. But when you have a guy like Colin in the back to make those big saves, you have a good chance to get a result. And obviously, I think he got experience this year. He got a ton of experience. He had a couple of mistakes that I think he learned from. But in saying that, they're mistakes that need to happen for you to grow. And I expect him to be, like I said, we think he's the best goal in the conference this year. He got second team all conference, which isn't a knock on him. But in saying that, I think he wants to go out and prove that he is the best, not only in our conference, but possibly in the country. And we're happy he's on our team.
I know wheels are always turning behind the scenes. I like to talk to you and Brooks about it just to get the word out there for anybody that wants to help out. There is a stadium in the works, but of course you can't fund it without money, and a lot of that relies on donors. How big of a benefit was it for you and Brooks, and even Kevin Robinson, because the track and field team competes at that same facility, get as far as exposure of both teams making postseason this year?
It just brings awareness. Some people, oh, Memphis has soccer, and I think it's past that point or whatever, but I mean, Brooks making the third round this year, going as far as he did, obviously us making the NCAA tournament for the first time in, like you said, 16, 18 years, and then obviously Kevin does a good job on the track and field. It just brings awareness that, oh, you know what, on TV, where's their locker room? And, it's like not part of the stadium yet, or where's the scoreboard? Well, it's in production of that, and again, we have all the support we need from the athletic department. We go as far as our team allows us to go with coaching and stuff like that. It's the intangibles of the locker rooms and stuff that you want to get better, and we're in the process of fundraising for that. So to bring awareness that, you know what, they are fundraising for that, and anything helps, whether it's $5 or $10 or just you coming out to the game to bring support, we're welcome to that. But at the end of the day, we do want to bring this program to the next level for men's and women's soccer and track for that word. Of having a stadium that our student athletes can go and compete in and have a locker room, so on and so forth.
So if you're inclined to help out, the university would love to definitely hear from you. In all seriousness, if you want to get involved with the soccer, track and field, or just facilities program, contact the university. As we kind of wrap things up, you look toward the spring, you'll put a spring schedule together. Any teaser on any kind of non-conference schedule we're looking at next year?
Well, a lot of returns. Obviously, we'll have our Lipscomb game. We have a UCA game, and there's still some to be figured out or whatever. But in saying that, it's going to be competitive. I think what we did this year for our non-conference really got us prepared for our conference schedule. And like you said, UCF is obviously moving on, but it doesn't mean the conference is going to get any easier. So we'll still have our usual in-conference components, but still trying to pick up a couple of high RPI non-conference ones, and sometimes those are set up in January, February, but it's going to be competitive and a schedule that we'll be ready for.
Coach, as always, thanks a lot and congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
That is Richard Mulrooney. I'm Jeff Brightwell with the Wolfchase Toyota Insider on the Memphis Tiger Network.